exactly what you want to see. Let's run this puppy in. Score a touchdown and tie this game. Life, run for your life, touchdown on one play. Worked on this in practice. Touchdown. It's up to Kelvin Benjamin. This is all you, buddy. Kelvin Benjamin for a touchdown. Oh, he toasted his man. Holmes toasted his man. Spin move. Oh! Oh! What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the What a Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the San Francisco 49ers Legends Fantasy Draft Series here on the Madden 22. And as you can probably tell, this is the next video that I'm recording when I'm still sick. So I don't know how many videos I'm going to record while I'm still under the weather, but this is another video that includes it. So I'm sorry, but got to get content out to you guys. So let's recap what happened in the last episode. If you didn't see it, it was the Super Bowl week, and it was a game. It was a game. That is 100% true. There's no lying there. It was definitely a game. We won. We won the Super Bowl, number one out of hopefully what will be 10 out of 10. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but it's a good start. It's definitely a good start, 1 out of 1. We played the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they carved up our defense. They really exposed our defense. I don't really like what they did. We're going to have to work on that in this offseason. And this is the first of 2 draft classes that you guys get to see that bring in the rest of the rookies, the legends that I could not add to the actual base roster. So the second draft class is filled with a ton more players, even more than what this first one is, but this is the initial one. So I hope you guys are excited to see that as well. Let's get into the off-season video. The next video after this will be the off-camera, on-camera video where I just like simulate through the preseason, get the roster ready, kind of just mumble to myself and talk to myself and maybe make some trades in the preseason stuff. You guys understand if you're OGs of the channel, but let's get into the actual off-season video. It's what everybody loves to see. The offseason is the best part of any series that anybody does on YouTube. So smash that like button if you are excited. Hit that notification bell and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club. Let's get into the offseason. We pick up right where we left off at the end of the Super Bowl episode. As you can see, we won 37-29 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have to take a look at staff moves because there's some interesting things to talk about. Head coaches, because that's all we care about. Sean McDermott fired from the Bills. Vic Fangio fired from the Broncos. Kevin Stefanski fired from the Browns. Joe Judge fired from the Giants. Dan Campbell fired from the Lions. Griffin Murphy / Bill Belichick fired from the Patriots. Sean McVay fired from the Rams. And Joe Judge hired by the Lions. So only one team has hired a new head coach. That's pretty crazy that some of these names got fired. Like, you don't usually see Sean McDermott get fired or Kevin Stefanski get fired or Sean McVay get fired in year number 1. That's usually like a couple years down the road, but I don't think we're going to fire what's-his-face, our coach, just yet. I think we'll give him a couple more seasons, then we'll fire him and get a new head coach in there just to spice things up a little bit. But for year number 1, 2, maybe even 3, we will keep... What's his name? Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan. I forgot his name for a second. We will keep Kyle Shanahan on the roster. Let's simulate to the next week, which is the staff week, where we should be able to see season recap. That's right. So we've got to do a little bit of upgrade. It's just Chris Johnson, and we can do his power back stuff. It's not going to help him too much, but ball carrying vision does help him actually quite a bit. I was hoping he'd go up to Superstar X Factor, but it doesn't look like he has, unless it just hasn't carried over yet. Season recap. The Super Bowl MVP is Tom Brady, as it should have been. The MVP of the league was Marshawn Lynch. We won Coach of the Year. Marshawn Lynch also wins Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year is John Abraham. So it's basically Marshawn Lynch and John Abraham is who won all the awards for this first season. That's pretty funny. Now we go to the next week because we're not going to fire any head coaches or hire any offense coordinators or anything like that. So we're going to move on. We got mock draft number 3 to take a look at. That's pretty interesting. See if anybody's moved up or moved down. See if Dan Deerdorf is still the consensus number 1 player. But first we can check out retirements. It should just be a bunch of old players. It is. The guys that I left, they're same age as as what the base roster is, just because they didn't really matter that much. So those guys all retired. They don't matter. And now we take a look at the mock draft. So Dan Deerdorf is still the consensus #1 player. Then David Deal, Johnny Unitas, Leroy Selman, Derek Brooks, Gale Sayers, Marcel Darius, Ted Hendricks. If we go down here further, we can take a look at the range we're going to be possibly trading up into, which is like the Jason Sehorn, Rondé Barber, because we do need to look at another corner. That is 100% true. But if we go to, we can't look at the second round because it does just the top 32 picks, and we don't have a first round pick either this year or next year because of the trade to get Trey Lance, I think, in real life. So if we take a look at the prospects and we go down to about where we think we'll be drafting, which is in the second round somewhere, there are a ton of talented players that we could obviously get that we don't have to trade up for, like some of these guys right here. But if we want to get a top-end corner, we may need to trade up because there's guys like Jason Sehorn, Rondé Barber, Pat Surtain, obviously all possibilities for us. There are some other guys like Brent Grimes and Sam Madison who we can wait on a little bit. But do we really want to wait on those guys, or do we want to go straight in for a top-end corner? So I don't really know. I haven't decided fully yet. We are going to have to wait, though. And like I said, I have created this roster so far in the past that I don't remember any of their overalls. So I have no idea who I'd be drafting or how good they'd be. I kind of have a vague idea because I don't think I mentioned this ever. The draft classes are, the overalls are in line with how the roster is. So all these legends are 99 overalls and stuff. So all the rookies are going to be in like the low to mid 80s, maybe even high 80s at some points, and even there could be a couple that are in the 90s because they have to equal, or they have to be good enough to possibly play right away. So like like a basic roster, the highest player would be like an 81, and then there's like a bunch of 70s. So it just up a notch basically is what it is. So we move on to the next period, which is free agency week #1. Now, I'm not sure who's going to be in this free agency class. We have Darrelle Revis. That's huge because we do need a corner. Ben Roethlisberger is the best quarterback available. Raheem Mostert, Kyle Juszczyk, Danny Amendola. All right, so there's not a crazy good free agency class in year #1. Darrelle Revis seems to be really, really good. I'm interested in that. I think we're going to go in for Darrelle Revis. Yeah, we're going to go in for Darrelle Revis. He's really the only guy that I really, really have to have. So, Darrelle Revis, we're going to give you all the money in the world. Revis Island should be in San Francisco. So, we will offer him that much money. Nope, we're going to offer him even more money because we want him to guarantee to sign with us, so I will give him every single penny that I have. I will even go higher than that. I will give him a higher bonus because I need to make sure that he is here. You know how sometimes they don't sign with you even though you're in the lead. All right, so that seems to be pretty good. We're in the lead by a comfortable amount. Having him and Richard Sherman and Joe Hayden all in the same secondary would be pretty cool. I think that's the only guy that we really need. I don't think there's anybody else in free agency that I really have to go after. We could pick up another tight end. We don't really need to. I think that's all. I think that's good. I think we only need to get Darrelle Revis, and he should sign with us. There are combine results underway. If we take a look at, let's take a look at Dan Deerdorf's combine results. He is the fastest right tackle. He's elite in basically everything. Yeah, Dan Deerdorf's probably going to go #1 overall, but let's take a look at some of those corners. We don't really necessarily need a corner now as much because we just possibly got Darrelle Revis. There are some positions that we do need, which is like a right guard, but I don't think I made any right guards in this class. And if I did, David Deal's going to go top 5. So we could do with a pass rusher, that is for sure. And there are a couple pass rushers that we are going to look at, possibly like a Justin Tuck, who looks very, very good, or maybe a Trent Cole or Dwight Freeney could also be a possibility for us. These guys all look really, really good. Basically, everybody's going to look really, really good because it's a legend draft class. So, you know everybody's going to look really, really good. So, we can go to the next week and see if Darrelle Revis ends up signing with us. I hope that he does. He does or does not. It's taking a while because of the mock draft. He accepted his contract. Darrelle Revis is now a San Francisco 49er. That is actually really, really massive. That is really, really big. Getting a lockdown corner, #1 corner. Him and Sherman, along with Joe Hayden on that line, is going to be big. Ben Roethlisberger is going to Miami. All right. We just got a huge pickup in free agency, signing Darrelle Revis. We can take a look at the pro day results. Somebody else retired in the offseason. Jamarcus Webb decides to call it a career. Good for him. Mock draft 4 is upon us. And it looks like it is basically the same stuff. Nothing really changing in terms of mock drafts. We do have college pro days. We don't really need to necessarily look at pro days because everybody's going to be good. Everybody's going to be good in a class like this. So we don't necessarily need to look at pro days. But if we do, I mean, I'll take a look at DeMarcus Ware. What's his pro day looking like? So it's basically similar stuff. It's all going to be the same stuff. So we don't really necessarily need to look at it. If you want to, in your franchises, you want to take more in-depth look at some of these draft classes with their pro days and stuff, then you can feel free to do that. But I kind of know already what we're thinking. I kind of already have a plan of where we want to go in the draft. So we're going to continue moving on. We don't need to sign anybody else. Let's see what we can do here in the draft. I'm excited to see private workouts. I am going to go to private workouts because I'm going to invite some interesting people. We have 3 people to choose from. I'm going to go to pass rusher, and I'm going to invite Justin Tuck. I'm going to invite probably a D tackle. It's probably going to be Randy White we're going to invite. We're going to go to middle linebackers. Right? Yeah, middle linebackers. Or maybe outside linebackers. Let's invite Robert Mathis. Those are the 3 guys that I want to... Justin Tuck, Randy Wright, and Robert Mathis are the focus players that I want to do private workouts with because those guys I'm kind of leaning towards. And then we move on to the 4th level of free agency, mock draft number 5. So we're going to find out the kind of final analysis of where everybody is probably going to go. Mock draft number 5 is basically the same. Yeah, basically the same kind of thing. So I have a plan, a little bit of what I'm feeling we should do. I'm still not 100% certain if I want to trade up. I probably won't because I feel like there's going to be some players that'll fall to us. So it is time for the NFL draft. Start drafting. It is now time. We can pause. The Lions have the #1 overall pick, and I feel like we know where they're going to go. They are probably going to go with Dan Dierdorf to lock down that right side. Let's get this started. Let's get the draft started. Underway. The first pick in the NFL draft is Dan Dierdorf. Now remember, the new version of the draft and stuff doesn't show you their overalls, but we know that Dan Dierdorf is really, really good. The Bills with the 2nd pick David Deal. The Lions also have the 3rd pick. They pick Johnny Unitas. So they get a quarterback and a right tackle in the first 3 picks. Good for the Lions. Patriots get Leroy Selman, so it's basically following the mock draft order right now. Then Derek Johnson goes. Gale Sayers. Marcel Darius to the Broncos. The Bucks get Ted Hendricks. Mark Schlereth headed to New York. D'Angelo Hall to the Falcons. Julius Thomas to the Jaguars. Evan Mathis to the Eagles. That's funny. That's where he went in real life. Well, he ended up there. I don't know if he got drafted there. Patrick Willis to the Packers, top 15. Eric Decker to the Jets. That's funny. Joe Staley to the Ravens. Bronco Nagurski to the Giants. The Titans get Adam Pac-Man Jones. Keyshawn Johnson also to the Giants. Demaryius Thomas to the Eagles. Kyle Williams to the Cowboys. Pat Surtain, senior, to the football team. Rondé Barber to the Texans. Vernon Davis to the Raiders. DeMarcus Ware to the Cardinals. Now we're starting to get into interesting territory where I thought those guys might be there. There's probably still going to be a pass rusher available that's going to be pretty good, but I thought DeMarcus Ware might be there. Saints get Plaxico Burress. The Bengals get Jason Sehorn. Osei Umenyiora goes to the Panthers. The Eagles also get Travis Frederick, so they get a left guard and a center, so that's good for them. Lorenzo Neal, the first fullback off the board, to the Vikings. Then the Chiefs get Kellen Winslow. The Steelers get Derek Thomas. The Dolphins get Elvis Dumerville with the final pick in the first round. Simeon Rice goes to the Lions. Lions are getting a very good draft together. Tom Jackson goes. Edgerrin James to the Patriots. Robert Mathis to the Browns. Tamba Ali. This is a very interesting draft that we're getting so far. There are still some linebackers that I'm interested in, some D tackles. Maybe not so much pass rushers anymore. A lot of the good ones are going. There's still Justin Tuck, though. Trent Cole. There's still a couple good ones here. All three of these guys I'd be willing to take. So let's go with the next couple players. It is London Fletcher, Bobby Bell, then Navarro Bowman, Santana Moss to the Falcons, Derek Brooks to the Jaguars, Warren Sapp to the Eagles. Eagles also put together a very solid draft. Booger McFarland goes, Ray Maualuga, Dwight Clark, Larry Zonka to the Falcons, Darren Woodson to the Bears, Bob Sanders to the Colts. Look at that. It all works out in the end. Sam Madison to the Cowboys, Eric Wood to the football team, Randy White to the Texans, Brent Grimes to the Raiders, Tim Rudy to the Cardinals, Jay Cutler, Smoking Jay, to the Saints. Look at that. Tony Dorsett to the Bengals, Justin Tuck to the Jets. We got Cedric Benson to the Dolphins, Vincent Jackson, RIP, to the Vikings, Trent Cole to the Chiefs, and TJ Houshmandzadeh to the Steelers. So now it's our pick, our first pick in the draft, and I feel like we just got to go with a pass rusher. The only pass rusher available is Dwight Freeney, so I feel like we got to take a look at him. There's no D tackles left. There's no outside linebackers left. No middle linebackers left. No right outside linebackers left. Corners are all gone. Free safeties are still here, which is good. We could take a free safety in the next couple rounds. Strong safeties are all gone. There's still a couple quarterbacks left. A lot of quarterbacks left, actually. Running backs, still some good running backs left. Tiki Barber's still here. We might take a running back. You never really know. A few wide receivers left. I'm obviously not going to draft any actual player, like auto-generated players. I'm only going to stick to created guys, legend guys. So we are going to go with Dwight Freeney to seal up our edge. So now we got Reggie White and Dwight Freeney along with Everson Griffin and Ndamukong Suh. He is a hidden development. We don't know what his overall is. I forget actually what his overall is. But now we keep going. Lions get David Boston. Jeremy Maclin headed to the Buffalo Bills. Phil Simms to the Rams. We get Sammy Baugh to the Patriots. Mike Pouncey to the Browns. John Lynch to the Chargers. Jeremy Shockey, Broncos. Dwayne Bowe to the Bucks. Taylor Cheeks, the first auto-generated guy, to the Jets. Larry Wilson to the Falcons. Cadillac Williams, Jaguars. Trent Green to the Eagles. Ronnie Lott to the Packers. Tiki Barber to the Seahawks. Fred Jackson to the Ravens. Aeneas Williams to the Giants. Pat Tillman. We're probably not going to see a lot of legend guys left when we get up. There are a few guys left. There's some kickers, obviously. But there's a couple positions that we just don't need. Like quarterback, we don't need. We don't need to draft any quarterbacks. Running back, I could draft. There's only a few guys left that I'd take, which is Priest Holmes, Ryan Matthews, or Clinton Portis. Wide receiver is just Victor Cruz. Tight ends, nobody's left. Nobody's here on offensive line, I don't think. Yeah, there's nobody left on offensive line that is legend created. And I think we're just going to trade the rest of our picks after we take our next one, if there's anybody even here. All the free safeties are gone now. All the strong safeties are gone now. The kickers are still here, but I think we'll stick with Mason Crosby. So let's continue on and see if the rest of these legend guys goes. Victor Cruz goes. Clinton Portis goes. Jake Plummer, Jake the Snake. Michael Green. Priest Holmes. Steven Strong. It's a good offensive line class, it seems, at least right tackle-wise. Ryan Matthews, Dan Fouts, Shaquille Swan, Ben Allison, Ken Anderson, Ramon McMichael, Jason Dubois. And now we are up, and I don't think there's any legend guys left. Except for kickers. There's kickers left, obviously, like Adam Vinatieri. But I think we just move on. I don't think we need to take Adam Vinatieri. I'm fine with Mason Crosby, kinda. Should I be fine with Mason Crosby, or should I take Adam Vinatieri? You know what? Screw it. I'm going to take Adam Vinatieri. He's hitting potential, but he's got 97 kick power. I'm taking Adam Vinatieri. I don't care. Adam Vinatieri. Let's see if Matt Bryant goes, because he's the last created player left. And then I'm probably just going to trade the rest of these picks, because we don't necessarily need to draft anybody. Bob Greasy goes. He was a created player. I forgot he was even in the draft. It looks like it's going to be a ton of just regular players. I don't think Matt Bryant's going to get taken anytime soon. You don't usually take a kicker this early in the draft, but I'm pretty crazy. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to have to keep moving on until we get to our next pick, and then we can trade. I guess we can trade them now. It doesn't really matter when we trade them. Manage roster, trade center. Can we get anything good for him? That's the question. That is the real question. So we've got a 4th round pick and a 5th round pick. I only have 2 picks left. Okay, so a 4th round pick can probably get me a 3rd rounder next year. Let's go to Chicago and see if they'll get me a 3rd rounder. I was wrong. Can I get a 4th? Can we just swap 4ths? Almost. I can almost get a 4th. I bet if I give my 5th up, I'll get it. So let's just get a 4th from the Bears. We have no more picks left in this draft. We took Dwight Freeney and what's his face? Adam Vinatieri. So I think that's a solid draft. We saw where all the legends went except for Matt Bryant. He was the only player not taken yet. And now we can take a look at what their overalls are, because I even forget what some of these guys' overalls are. So draft recap is going to be, we picked up 90 overall Dwight Freeney and 93 overall Adam Vinatieri. His stats are pretty crazy. We can get rid of Mason Crosby now. Where's his kick power and stuff? His kick power is... His kick accuracy is 95. His kick power is 90 something. Where'd it go? Why would it not just be here with everything else? His kick power... I don't know where his kick power grade is. Did I pass it already? I think it said it was 97, right? I don't remember. Who cares? What does it matter? What does it matter? It doesn't matter. He's good. Let's just say that. So let's go to the rest of the league and see what some of the overalls are. So highest overall player is Leroy Selman, 95 overall, 95 Edgerrin James, 95 Larry Zonka, 94 Johnny Unitas, 94 Gale Sayers. See, this is what I was talking about, how the players have to be higher overall so they can make an impact. Because if they were like 80s, low 80s to high 70s, they wouldn't ever make an impact. So they have to be, it has to balance out. So Adam Vinatieri's 93, Ted Hendricks 93. There's a ton of 93 players out here. I don't know who the lowest rated player that I made is. The lowest rated rookie that I made is gonna have to be, if we can find him here, he is, we're into actual created players now. So if we go up here, it's Victor Cruz. Victor Cruz is an 83 overall. He's the lowest rated player. I'm pretty sure they all have hidden development too. They have star, superstar, or X Factor, depending on who they are. And yeah, that's going to be the off season. It's not really that big of an off season, that long of a video. But I was expecting the free agency class to be a little bit bigger. It wasn't. So we didn't really necessarily do a whole lot. But this is where the off-camera, on-camera kind of thing comes into play. So in that video, I will not have a face cam. I will just be talking to myself, basically thinking out loud to myself, thinking what I'm going to do, maybe making some trades, and then just going to week 1. And that's when you guys will see me next with a face cam and everything for the first week of season number 2. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. Make sure to smash that like button, notification bell, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.